Chat Man Friday,
a podcast for Maine in North and West Melbourne. Chatman Friday.
Chatman Friday.
Hello, dear listeners, and we're happy to be here in another podcast. So it's Friday, me, Syed, with Usman, in a new podcast with our new guest today.
Yes, I'm happy to be back. I'm very happy. It's Osman from Chatman Friday, and I hope everyone is gonna enjoy today's session. Today's session is we have a very good friend of mine. It's Mr. Neil. So how are you how are you doing, Neil? Are you doing okay?
I'm doing quite good for who I am, yes.
So
Beautiful.
Neil, Neil, he has been a librarian for quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
He's from a Scandinavian background. He can tell us a little bit about where he's originally from and how did this impact his life. And he's going to also speak to us about the issue of disability and issue of employment, as well as the Men Afternoon Tea program that he's a very important member part of. So we are very happy to have Neil here.
Yeah.
Welcome, Neil.
Thank you for the welcome.
Yeah. So Neil, I tried to say a little bit about you. Just now, it's your turn. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I was privileged to be born in Perth. My mother is the daughter of an immigrant, and my father's ancestors came in the 1850s, so they've been a bit different. I was supposed to have been stillborn, and after 13 months in a hospital, they turned the machine off, and I am still alive, but getting by with my daily seizures and osteo troubles.
You're a fighter, man. You're a fighter. You started fighting since you were 13 weeks old. So, you're still continuing your fight. So that's good. I really appreciate that from you.
Yeah. Osman said you were a librarian for a long time. He just mentioned long time. You explain and tell us exactly how long you're working as a librarian.
I was working for 33 years
33 years.
at the same library, but as I got more studies completed, I moved up the ranks.
Right.
So I started as a book reshelver and then researcher and that sort of thing.
Right.
That's good. So what's a library means to you then?
A library is a place of learning, a place for information, not entertainment.
And did you have fun when you were in the library, working in the library?
I had a marvellous time. We were like one big family, and it was such a good place that many of my colleagues were there for many years, and some past colleagues are still in contact with me.
That's beautiful. And that's the environment that you usually try to get. The library is not only where you find books and so on. I think that when people think about a library, they say, oh, it's a quiet place where you just go and read and no one is speaking to you. But actually, library is much more than that. What do you think?
The library is a community.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
You got the staff who are there for the people who walk through the front door,
Yeah.
not for themselves. And that's what our chief aim was, to make sure information was received. And I did a bit of cataloguing and all different sorts of things in my job.
Wow. So to be a good librarian, what kind of characteristics you should have?
Be patient, look outside the box, and be a person, not a money person.
Wow.
That's a big message.
That's very important.
I love that.
That's very important. So have you got any strange requests for research or people ask you about specific books that you never heard about, or something that really stood out and said, what are you talking about?
There was a time I answered the phone and this chap was ringing up, and he started with, when I was a boy, and I knew straight away I was in trouble. And he said, I came into your library and I read a book. I can't remember what it's called, but I remember it was red. Could you get me that book?
A lot of red books must be there.
And I teased him and said, what, Mal's little red book? Because that's the sort of person I am. And so he gave me the subject, what it was about. And I took it to an older librarian who sat down and catalogued from those few bits. Then we went up into the old area of the library, and he found the exact book.
Wow. He found it?
He found it.
From all of the books?
Yeah, if the book had not been put onto the modern catalogue.
Okay.
So he catalogued it from zero.
Wow, that's interesting.
So, yeah, that's what can happen, but that skill is basically lost because everybody relies on a computer. Not the old... He had old books of how to find this and that. It took him like an hour or two just to work out what it was.
Wow.
To invent a title and all that sort of stuff.
Wow, that's very interesting. That's very interesting. That's a new vision of what, like for me, I thought that librarians is just like easy, but it's not easy. Sometimes you get really very weird requests like that.
Yeah.
And you get questions for, like there was somebody at one stage wanted to know the makeup of teeth, and I had to research about teeth.
Yeah.
Okay.
And my manager said, I think you've got a uni student wanting their assignment done and you're the one who's going to do it for them.
Okay. So
I had to do all the research I knew nothing about, then compile it all together, then send it off to them.
Okay, that's interesting. But you made the job of many students much easier then, because you did most of the work for them, right?
Oh, so many of them. Yeah.
So you must have really liked your job as a librarian.
You'd wake up with the, I'm off to work. Not another day. But it was not just because of, it was a little bit of money coming in, but it was the family that we worked, all colleagues together, and the people we were going to help, and we had no idea what we were going to be asked.
Yes, of course.
So why did you leave this great job?
Why?
Yeah.
They did a restructure and I was gone, and it seemed to be that a lot of the people with a disability were on the chopping block.
Yes, because sometimes, although that now they are saying the government is very clear about, not to discriminate jobs based on disability or cultural background. This must be very hurtful for you, right?
I had what I found Great Depression. I was very depressed. And somebody who was higher up in the library, in the HR area, saw me and said, no, you're not your usual. I'm taking you to a doctor. He just so happened to be a Beyond Blue doctor, and I walked straight in and said, you've got depression. How come? He said, I can see it in you straight away.
Yeah.
And I thought I was okay, but this HR person knew that there was something not right.
Yeah. Okay. Neil, we will continue our talks after a short break. So we have to broadcast some other informations in this show.
Time for an ad?
Yes.
Time for an ad?
Yeah, we will come back shortly.
This is North and West Melbourne Neighbourhood Centre, and we host programs and activities for locals. Visit us at nwmnc.org.au or call us at 9328 1126, or even better, come in person at 58 Errol Street, North Melbourne.
And welcome back to Neil and to our dear listeners for Chatman Friday. And let's continue with our friend Neil. And it's maybe, would you like to ask him anything?
Yes, Usman. I was asking about an interesting book which you mentioned in the break time. What was the book about? It was a very interesting story.
It was about the colour spectrum, and it was published in the 19th century. And when I got it from the shelf and I opened it up, I realised that the colour didn't seem like photocopied or something. And I touched it and I thought, this is real paint.
Oh.
And so I took it to somebody who knew fairly on rare books. And then after a little bit of checking, they found out it could be worth up to $1 million, this little book that had just been sitting on the shelf.
In the library?
In the library.
Wow. And it's still there, you think, in the library? Or did
It went straight into rare book
Okay.
and locked away.
Right,
Wow.
right.
Wow.
But the people get used to take it, rent it or not?
They can
before?
still read it within a secure reading room where they do anything that is of any value.
Right. That's interesting.
That's very interesting.
Usman, a lot of interesting things happens in the library. We didn't know that,
I
you
would
know?
start going all through the library, especially the old ones, to look for a $1 million book, and maybe I would be rich just by taking that book.
But not now. Maybe
now.
long time ago, possible, not now.
So, Neil, I know that you have, through your work and through your stay here in North and West Melbourne, you have met a lot of international students. Tell us a little bit about your relationship with the various international students that you are meeting.
I got invited by a friend from Hong Kong to come and join with some international students, and he was Asian. His friends are all from Asia, and I said, I'm sorry, I'm not Asian. And he kept on bugging me, so I went along one evening to keep him quiet, and I felt so welcome, I went back the next week. And that was in the mid-1990s, and I still go each week to catch up with them.
Oh, really?
Wow. And like, did you meet some other, do you have, especially that I know that you host sometimes some international students at your home. Why did you do that? Or why do you do that?
It all started because my grandparents coming from Norway were given a rough time when Germany got into Norway, and then my mother, school teacher, did not want to teach her because she was one of them. My aunt felt really she was going to get bashed up all the time, and they said it's not going to happen till the next generation. So instead of being angry about it, they used it as a springboard to make sure people who were not from Australia felt they were welcome, regardless of who they are, their religion, language or anything. They were welcome at our dinner table. For in our culture, if you're welcome to sit down and have a meal with you, it's showing I respect you and I accept you.
That's very interesting. So share with us some of the backgrounds, cultural backgrounds and nationalities of some of the students that you have already hosted in your home. And for how long?
I've only been doing it for about 30 years. Since COVID, we haven't had the meal. But my aunt used to have the meal each Thursday night, and during the week would be correcting assignments for the uni.
Helping them with their assignments?
Yes, because
Wow.
English was their second language. It was my aunt's second language as well. So she knew how to, because her background language of Norwegian had similarities to Mandarin.
No.
Oh, really?
So like when they say in law, in Norwegian, they do the same because it's cultural. Because northern Norwegian, where my grandmother's from. They're originally from a place called China.
Yeah.
And that's interesting. So, have you got many people who are from different nationalities in your home as a host?
I've only got about 3 or 4 different nationalities from Asia, basically. One's still a student, one's on working holiday, and the other 2 have finished their studies.
That's right. Okay, Neil, we continue our talks some more minutes, but again, we have another break. So we will come back after a short break to you, and we will ask some more questions. It's very interesting stories that you're sharing to our audience. Thank you. We will come back after a short break.
The men's afternoon tea. It's a casual get-together for some food and a chat with other men from the neighborhood. New people are highly encouraged and it's free. It happens fortnightly Thursdays, 2:30 to 4 p.m. at 58 L Street, North Melbourne.
Welcome back to Chatman Friday. Saeed and Usman here with you. Some more minutes with our guest today.
Yes, I'm very happy to be here with Neil.
Yeah.
So, Neil, do you still have contacts with some of those international students?
Yes, from a lot of them from around the world. I wanted to be all things to all people, so I have my communication tools like WeChat, WhatsApp, Line, and everything. So I've got all those ways to communicate. So that's the way. And when I go, like I've been to China 7 times to see different parts of China and to meet them. They've graduated, gone back, and I want to see that they're doing okay.
And do they call you at any time, like when you're not feeling well or something like that?
I get plenty of phone calls, at least 1 a week, from someone just saying, hi, how are you doing, or a message. And sometimes I'll get a phone call and like one of my friends from Thailand might be on the phone for almost an hour just saying hello and how are you doing. And he was one who my aunt and I helped with his English to the extent that my aunt invited him to come and stay with us so that she could help him every night with his English.
Yeah.
And why do you think we should help or and how also? Why and how we should help international students who are living or staying or
Good
studying
question.
in the area here?
Well, for example, one day we might be the international student. You go to somewhere else, therefore you treat somebody the way you would like to be treated when you're going.
That's good.
So we've brought up people together from all different backgrounds and they become friends. And friends from backgrounds which previous generations would not have been friendly. But we broke down those barriers.
Wow.
And I found that when I mentioned I've been to this city and when all the wars just break, oh, you've been to my town, my city? And I found that was very helpful.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
And I think that also you have been a member of the Men Afternoon Tea, right?
I've been a member of the Men's Afternoon Tea for 2 or 3 years. I got a good forgettery, but
Yeah, did you enjoy your time there?
It's been good, and what was really good, people from different walks of life have come together and we look out for each other, and if I see one of them out and about, we can stop and say hello.
Yeah.
Because we are no longer strangers, we're just friends walking together.
So what happens during this men group or this Men Afternoon Tea program?
Well, it might be a few of us chatting, there'll be some food, but some of us have also got each other's mobile numbers and will SMS each other just to see how are you doing. And I get that from some, and I'll do that to others. People were complete strangers to me a year ago or so.
Yes.
Are no longer a stranger.
Yeah. They're not only friends. Now we feel them like part of our family. You know.
To the
Now
extent
it's
that
very- You know.
one of them messaged me to make sure I went okay in my surgery,
See.
and it was, wow.
Yeah.
You actually
You
remembered.
didn't expect maybe.
I didn't expect it.
That's right. You see, these kind of groups is very valuable, very wonderful. So
And does this help with your mental health, with your mood and so on? Does it makes it better?
It does, because at the moment I'm fairly sort of isolated because of my osteo and epilepsy. It's hard to get out of the house.
oh yeah,
So I have somebody who will take me out. I can't do the cleaning anymore, so I have to have a cleaner to come and clean.
yeah.
So I get that sort of interaction, which I otherwise wouldn't get.
Yeah.
That's
Since you mentioned the health issues, tell us a little bit about your brain surgery. You mentioned before, very briefly, but tell us a bit more about that. When it happened and how it's happened.
The Easter Thursday, I had VNS surgery, and it's got a pacemaker connected to the nerve stimulation, and it goes through into the brain to keep my seizures not so bad. And it went so well. Told me the next morning you can go home.
I'm very happy for you, my friend. Real happy for you. And do you advise other men to join the Men Afternoon Tea group? And what would you like to tell them?
If you're sitting at home with no one to talk to, and it's a Thursday afternoon, the place you need to be is at the centre at 58 Errol Street every fortnight, and you'll soon have friends.
That's a very beautiful message. And
Yeah.
we would like to thank you for everything, Neil. And it's a very beautiful message to close the program
Yes.
with. I really appreciate
Beautiful
everything that you have
message.
done. Thank you very much. And
Yeah.
it's Chatman Friday, isn't
Yes,
it?
thanks for your time, Neil. You joined the show, and we got a lot of information from you. Thank you a lot.
Thank you. We really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
So, dear listeners, we will be in the next show next Friday, right?
Yes.
We will be with one of another guest,
Yes, we are looking forward
another
to
friend
that.
we'll
Yes.
introduce for you.
Yes.
So stay with us. If you had any question, contact the center, and we can communicate over there too.
Yes, it's Chatman Friday. I'm very happy to have Neil, and thank you very much, Said, for the session.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Usman too.
Have a
Thank
nice. Bye-bye. Chatman Friday.
A podcast for Maine in North and West Melbourne. Chatman Friday.